Yes, what is going on, guys? Today I've got another amazing guide for you guys. Today is going to be mainly centralized towards newer players, but actually you could probably learn a lot of things or maybe even see a resource or two that you didn't know about even if you are an experienced player. So please do stick around with the video, and without further ado, we're going to get in my top 8 resources that all players should be using in order to become a better Mapler. And before I forget, please don't forget to stick around to the end of the video, as I'm going to be showing you guys how you guys can enter in my giveaway for a $50 NX gift card, and all you have to do is be subscribed to my YouTube. The very first thing I want to draw your guys' attention to is the amount of resources that are actually put on all of the Discord channels made for your Maple usage. The very first one that we're going to talk about is actually the Reboot Central Discord, which is actually going to be the main server or hub in order to get all of the information you need to have success in Reboot. The first useful thing that this server shows is actually when the server is going to go up and down, so feel free to use that as much as you need. The other thing is you can actually go in here and ask any questions that you have, and there are thousands of people in here waiting to answer your question for you. Another helpful thing that you can do is you can actually go to the assigned class section and actually choose which classes that you main, or even just classes that you plan to make a bossing mules or want to know more information about. What this does is actually open up a specific Discord channel specifically for the classes that you had chosen. As you can see on screen here, I'm able to click on the Thunderbreaker Discord, as that's who I main. And actually, if you go up to the pins at the top, it will actually link you to the server specific Discord for Thunderbreaker itself. In these class specific Discords are going to be all of the experts with all of the knowledge and questions answered already for you. Especially, most of these Discords have a frequently asked question where you can go and find your hyper skills, boost nodes, your burst rotation, your link skills, anything that you need to have success on the class that you want to know information about. These Discords are invaluable, as I can't even tell you the amount of times when starting up on Thunderbreaker that I had to come to this Discord, ask questions, and become the expert, well, maybe some of us would say that, about the class that I play today. Each of these servers are going to have a slightly different layout, so feel free to browse and delve into the depths of all of these Discords, click around through a few of the channels, and don't forget, they always will have a question tab, so you can go ahead and slot your questions in there as well. Another thing that I believe that you guys should take advantage of is all of the content creators out there have a personalized community Discord built for themselves. Here's personally mine. I have a set of rules that you have to go through in order to get a role on the server. Then I'll have questions, how to get carries, how to do coaching specifically for your class, and how to transfer your character into the next level. This next resource might seem like an obvious one because you guys are personally using this one to watch my video right now, but YouTube is chock full of guides, entertaining videos, and has many different content creators out there and able to show you guys what you should do. For example, here we've got Coperson. This one is a great example of amount of guides, content that's coming out in the future in your game, stuff like that. And don't forget, show all of these guys the love, subscribe to them because it does mean a lot and it enables them to continue making videos for you in the future. Another recommended content creator I have for you guys is actually going to be Scarador. This one in particular has a ton of specific coaching lessons for people that have paid or even just given his services to through his streams that allow you to show specific situations and specific questions that people had in order to progress their account, and they may even pertain some information that can help out you. For you guys who like written guides to follow, don't be afraid, there is a plethora of them online. For example here, I just have a Maplestory accessory best in slot math and GMS guide. It has the credits to him in the top, thank you Noah. This one specifically goes over what are the best set effects, what are the best accessories for you to use at the time, and actually shows you the exact math of why they're better and in what situations. Another example is actually going to be this spreadsheet here. This is going to show you exactly the gear steps that you should take throughout the entire process of your account, upgrading no matter what stage of the game that you are in, and also has all of the math included there as well. Just remember, these guides and spreadsheets were not made by me. The credits are on there, and if you go to my Discord, I actually have a link selection channel that enables you to have access to all of these spreadsheets that I have found that give you the information in Maplestory. The next resource that I want to talk about here is actually going to have some in-game use as well. Don't be afraid to apply to guilds in-game. I cannot stress this enough. This one, for example, is my main guild that has a plethora of information in there as well as their own Discord. It's going to have hundreds of members in their guild and in their alliance as well to answer any of your questions and even just to chat and have a good time while playing. The other thing to take note of, as you can see on screen here, is you can actually get buffs that can be applied as actives or even as passives while you're playing the game that enable you to do bossing better, mobbing better, and actually give you more XP through your leveling process. The UI is very helpful and handy, so feel free to go through all of the tabs and use all of the resources in there. And don't forget, if you love your guild, don't forget to do your coverts and your weekly flag race, because that enables your guild to do better and allow you to get more active skills in the future. This next resource is actually going to be an underrated one, especially for newer players, so be sure to pay attention to this one. This one's actually going to be the Orange Mushroom blog. This one takes all of the future updates that are leaked through the KMS patches half a year in advance that enable you to see what changes mostly are going to be coming to Reboot, especially in the future. I can actually give an example of how this helped me. For example, before the Ignition patch, I was wondering what my perfect trio nodes are going to be on Thunderbreaker. Well, as I could see in Ignition, we were actually changing our trio nodes to have C-Wave on Title Crash. So I was actually able to fiddle around with my boost trio nodes, so that way I would be set up for a future patch. If you are ever bored and just want something to read, go through here. You can see, for example, on screen here, we've got a new class. We're also going to have job balancing patches in the future. And you can even specifically get information about future events that we have no idea that are even in the game yet. Orange Mushroom blog is perfect for information in the future, but actually the best place to find information about what's happening in your game right now is actually going to be the Maple website itself or on your Nexon launcher. You can actually click on these specific news channels. For example here, these are all going to be the cache updates that are coming in the future here, so I can actually see what's going to be coming up right now. For example here, we can see the new Supreme style box changes, as well as seeing the new chairs that are added into the game, damage skins, anything that's going to be added into the cache shop. The other thing that's very important to touch up on is if you actually go to the news, you can actually check on all of the maintenance dates, unscheduled or scheduled. On these posts, you can actually see the suggested time that they're going to take, and they'll actually update a few hours into it whether or not it's going to be reduced in time or actually increased in time. More often than not, the latter. If any of you guys have caught my 6K Legion guide, you can see how this one comes in handy. You are going to have tons of characters to put on a Legion board, and normally you want to target a specific stat that you desire. That being said, you can see here on screen that you can actually click on what characters you currently have and even gray out specific parts on the screen to tell the solver that these are the slots that you want to take. To use this guide properly, you want to make sure that the spaces to be filled and the board spaces filled are actually going to be the same exact amount. Once you have that done, you can actually click start at the bottom and it will show you how to perfectly align all of your characters on the board to match up with the spaces that you currently have grayed out. The very last resource that I have for you guys today is actually going to be this very nifty daily tracker. As you can see on screen here, it will show you all of the daily bosses, all of the daily tasks, and even all of the daily Arcane River quests as a very simple check mark list. If you don't personally do some of these dailies on lists, or maybe that you've completed some of the Arcane River ones, you can actually customize it by moving things up and down and even deleting certain ones off of the list. The next thing that this website is actually going to be handy for is actually going to be touching over item flames, weapon flames, and showing you how many days it will take to complete your Arcane River quests. As you can see here, I am just slotting in a few random slots just to show you what the flame score of a random piece of equipment would be, you can actually click on the piece that is going to be in your inventory, and it'll actually show you on the HUD how much flame score that will be. You can actually change the stats once you reflame it, click over it, and overwrite the data. As weapon flames are slightly different, it will have its own tab here, but it will give you all the information here just to see what flame score your weapon is. The very last tab that we are going to touch over is going to be the Arcane Symbols tab. As you can see here on screen, it tells you based on how many symbols that you get a day, how many days it will actually take to complete those symbols. As a thanks to all of those who have supported me thus far, I am actually doing a $50 NX gift card giveaway just by being subscribed to my YouTube. In order to do that, just follow step number 7 here in my rules here. As you can see at the top, at 500 subs, I will be giving out a random person a $50 gift card. In order to join this, all you have to do is click interested. Just to be sure that you're in there, click on the interested tab and make sure that your name's in there. Once again, thank all of you guys for sticking around throughout this entire video. I hope that you guys can actually use some of these resources to help you better your account in the future. And don't forget to see more guides like this. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. As always, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.